Welcome students to our new class. Today we will discuss about fundamental rights. As we know that fundamental rights is very important topic from class 8 to onward, 9, 10th, 11 and 12th class. So let's discuss fundamental rights. So fundamental rights, what are fundamental rights? These are basic rights. These are the very important individual rights for the human beings for their proper overall development. That is why it provides the foundation for the human being. It provides foundation for the life, liberty, equality. So that is why these are called the fundamental rights. And in our Indian Constitution, the part 3rd, in the last class we have discussed that there are 22 parts in our Indian Constitution. Part 3rd of the Indian Constitution, we have to write parts like this one, like this. Part 3rd of the Indian Constitution deals with the 6 fundamental rights. Earlier there were 7 fundamental rights, but now there are 6 fundamental rights. Right to property is not a part of fundamental rights anymore. So let's discuss all these 6 fundamental rights one by one. These are very important question, that is a topic, got it? Not for the only academic part, but for the various competition examination which will you appear in the next coming time or so. So first fundamental right is right to equality. Right to equality. One of the most important thing I skipped, that is like we have 395 articles in our constitution and fundamental rights are given in 14 to 32. Article number 14 to 32 deals with the fundamental rights. Got it? This is also a very important question. Got it? That name the articles, or which are the articles which deals with the fundamental rights. This is also a very important question. Which part of the constitution deals with the fundamental right? So our answer will be part 3rd of the Indian Constitution deals with the fundamental rights, and that articles are 14 to 32, and we will now discuss all these articles 14, 15, 16. Okay, so right to equality. This is our first fundamental right, right to equality, in which Article 14. Article 14 tells us about equality before law. Equality before law. Which means that every individual, without any kind of a discrimination on the basis of caste, color, religion, they are equal before law. But there are some privileges for the president and for the governors of the states, but the constitution describes that every individual in the country that is equal before law. Next article. Article 15. Article 15 describes that there is a prohibition of discrimination. Prohibition of discrimination. That no individual will be discriminated on the basis of caste, color, religion, place of a birth. Next article. Next article, Article 16. Article 16 tells about the opportunities. That is, opportunities. What opportunities? That equality in the opportunities of the government jobs. Got it? There will be no discrimination on the basis of caste, color, religion in the government jobs. Every individual, he or she, will be provided equal opportunities. Then, Article 17 of the Indian Constitution of Fundamental Rights, that is, it deals with the abolition of untouchability. Of untouchability. Abolition of untouchability. We all know that untouchability was a curse. What it in the previous times when we were, when there was a colonial government, we were under the British rule, and after that, so the constitution makers, they were very much aware to bring out the equality. They need to abolition of untouchability. So there is, we can say everybody is free to go. Like public places are free for each and every individual. Your place of worship, the government-owned enterprises, they all, we can say that everybody is free to go there. Then, Article 18. Article 18. Article 18 of the Indian Constitution deals with the abolition of titles. Abolition of titles. Earlier, during the British era, the Indian people, they were, given the titles like Rai Bahadur, Knighthood, Jung Bahadur. But according to the Indian Constitution after independence, no individual can use these kind of a title with their names. So to bring the equality in the society. So these are the Article 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Got it? So these are very, very important articles of the Indian Constitution which comes under the right to equality. You have to remember, because these are written in the Constitution, that which article deals with it. That Article 14 deals with the equality before law. You will get the options in the question paper. So you must be aware that which article, like Article 14, it's equality before law, 15, prohibition of discrimination, 16, opportunities, deals with opportunities in the government, that everybody will be provided or will be given equal opportunities. Then Article 17, abolition of untouchability, and Article 18, that is abolition of titles. You have to make any kind of a, arrangement of yourself to remember all these things. Got it? Because you cannot change the sequence of these articles. Like you cannot written that abolition of titles at Article 14. So you have to pretty much sure about this, and you have to remember all these things. Okay, students. So our next fundamental right, that is right to freedom. Right to freedom. This is our next fundamental right, our second fundamental right, Article 19. Article 19 deals with the 6 freedoms. Very, very important 6 freedoms. These are right to equality is very important, and this one also is very, very important, right to freedom. Freedom in everybody's life is very much important. Got it? For the proper development, for the overall development, the freedom is very, very important. Okay? So Article 19, there are 6 freedoms. Like you can make unions. There are so many types of unions. We can say teachers unions are there, Kisan unions are there, students unions are there. So you are free to form unions. And then you can assemble peacefully. You can protest peacefully. If you have any kind of a problem with the government, you can protest peacefully without arms. You have to remember, protest peacefully. This is a fundamental right. This is the freedom which is given in the Constitution, that you can protest against the whatever you want, but you have to protest peacefully. You can live in any part of the country. But for the betterment of the scheduled tribes, or basically for the people those who are living in forest, or to particular save some communities, government can prohibit to live in particular area. You can reside in any part of country. You can move freely in any part of the country. Got it? But the government can restrict some people or restrict anybody for the sake of security. And another freedom given in this one, 6 freedoms. That is, choose profession. You can choose your own profession. You want to be a doctor. You want to be an engineer. You want to be a player. Got it? So this is again, it's given in the right to freedom, that you can choose your profession. So these are the 6 freedoms, like right to speak or right to speech, that you can give your ideas, you can give your expressions. There are so many methods to speak, to express yourself, like plays are there, like newspapers are there, like magazines are there. So these are the mediums through which you can give your ideas, you can express your feelings. Got it? So these are the 6 freedoms, very very important. Then we have Article 20. So these are the, you can get a question that in which article there are 6 freedoms, or name these 6 freedoms. So Article 19, and I told you that these are the 6 freedoms. Then we have Article 20. Article 20 of the Indian Constitution provides you the protection in respect of conviction for offences. These are the very very important articles for the individual freedom, for the individual personal liberty, for the individual freedom. So what is this article describe? So this article describes that no person shall be convicted of any offense except for the violation of a law in force at that time. Got it? For example, that you have convicted something, you have done something, but there is no law against that particular thing, and you cannot be punished about that particular thing. Got it? And you cannot be punished twice. This article describes that you cannot be punished twice, or a person cannot be punished twice for a same offense. Got it? And next, that is Article 21 and Article 21A. Article 21 provides for the personal liberty, right to life, and then Article 21A, very important right to education. So right to education is the part of the fundamental right which comes under the Article 21A. Very very important question for the preparation of your competition examination or for the board examination. Article 21A deals with the right to education, that is compulsory education for the children of 16 to 14 years of age. So student will be provided with the free books, free uniform, midday meal. Got it? That is right to education. And Article 22. Next, we have Article 22. Article 22 provides that protection against the arrest. Protection against the arrest. So, this particular article in the right to freedom deals with the protection against the arrest. A person shall be presented before the magistrate within the 24 hours of his arrest, and he will be free to choose his defender, or we can say prosecutor. He will be allowed to choose or to meet his prosecutor, and he will be provided with the information that the cause of his arrest. So this article is deals with the protection against the arrest. So up to now we have done with 2 fundamental rights. One was the first fundamental right, that is right to freedom, and the second is right to equality. Very very important articles, rights. These are. Okay. So our next fundamental right, that is third fundamental right, right against exploitation. Exploitation. Article 23 and 24. So you can get a question that name the fundamental right which comes under Article 23 and 24. So that is right against exploitation. There are two things in this one. Article 23 deals with the uh, Article 23 deals with the protection against traffic in human being, traffic in human being, and forced labor, and Article 24 deals with prohibition of employment, child employment, prohibition of child employment. So, traffic in human being. What is traffic in human being? Sale and purchase of males, females, children is prohibited in our constitution in any manner. And human, that is forced labor. The other word we can use, that is begar. Forced labor, which is the labor done, when a person is forcefully, to do some work, is forced to do some kind of a work and without any kind of a pay. So this is known as a forced labor. And Article 24 of the Indian Constitution, that is prohibition of child employment. We all know that the true place of the children are in the school. Got it? So this article describes about that the children must not be employed in the hard labor, got it, below the age of 14. Got it? So they must not be worked in the dhabas or in the mining areas or in the dangerous factories. So children, what is it? Where is the true place of the children? That is a school. Got it? So that is why we have a right to education also. I told you earlier, Article 21A. Got it? So these are the three fundamental rights which we have done. Got it? Next are fourth fundamental right, students. Very, very important. These are right to freedom of religion. Right to freedom of religion. So, Article 25 to 28, 23 and 24 article deals with the right against exploitation, and we have 25 to 28 articles under right to freedom of religion. I told you in the previous class that India is a secular country. You can choose your religion. So, under right to freedom of religion, you are free to practice your religion. You are free to profess your religion. You are not liable to pay taxes. If anybody says that you have to pay taxes for a particular religion, so Constitution prohibits the right to freedom of religion, prohibits this. And you can not forcefully taken to the religious places basically, or to any kind of a religious program, attend to religious programs. So these are the freedom of religion. This comes under the freedom of religion. This is fourth fundamental rights, Article 25 to 28. Next fundamental right we have 29 and 30, Article 29 and 30, that is cultural and educational rights for the minorities. What are minority communities or minority religious communities? Those communities which are less than 50% of the population. We call them minorities. Got it? Like Sikhs are there, Muslims are there, 15% of, approximately 15% population is there of Muslims, then we have Christians, then we have Sikhs, Buddhists, Jainis, Zoroastrians. So these are comes under the minorities. So our constitution provides special privileges to these minorities that they can they can go for the betterment of their culture, their languages, because they are minorities. So they must be provided with some kind of edge, we can say, to enhance their culture, to enhance their language. So this is our cultural and educational rights. Got it? So these kind of minorities, you can see that there are Christian schools, there are schools set up by the Sikh communities. So over there they can provide the education regarding their religion. Christians schools, they can provide their education regarding Christianity, and we have schools related to Sikhism. So they can provide their language, their culture, because they are religious minorities. Okay, so we have a special privileges in the constitution. Next we have six fundamental right. We have our six fundamental right. Article 32, heart and soul of the Indian Constitution, right to constitutional remedies. So remedies, that this is we can say right to constitutional remedies, that in this article 32, that Supreme Court can issue some kind of writs. If your fundamentals are violating, if your like right to freedom is violating, your right to equality is violating, so then we can say that Supreme Court can issue some kind of a writs. There are few types of writs given are in our constitution, like habeas corpus is there, quo warranto is there, got it? Certiorari is there. So these are the various writs which can be issued by the Supreme Courts or by the various High Court, Supreme Court and by the various High Courts in the favor of individual if there is any possibility of the violation of the fundamental rights. Okay students, so these are the six fundamental rights given in the third part of the Indian Constitution from the article 14 to 32. Got it? These are very important article. This topic is very important. Right to equality, right to freedom. Then we have a right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion. Then we have a cultural and educational rights for the minorities. And then last but not the least, the most important fundamental right which enforces all these laws or all these fundamental rights, that the right to constitutional remedies, article 32. Okay, so you have to remind all these, you have to revise all these. Okay, and if you have any kind of a problem, you can question or you can ask in the comment section. Thank you so much, students.